We'll start with chanting Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Inhale deeply. Om. 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 सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति शांति शांति। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. We are covering chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita. Right? So, as any chapter, as we said, right, the seeds for the S chapter is in the previous chapter. So, in chapter 7 of Gita, Jnana Vijnana Yoga, Bhagavan has said that whoever realizes, the key word here is realizes, okay, whoever realizes that Vasudeva Miti Sarvam, everything here is God alone. There's nothing other than God. When they realize that, they are going to attain moksha. Now, but there are some people, okay, they want to, I mean, they are not free from their duality, meaning like, okay, so they are not fully free from their karmas, etc. And they don't have that realization, but they have faith. When they have faith, then if with the faith, when they think, I mean, like when they believe that everything around is Brahman alone, okay, and including them, okay, and when they see Bhagavan as including Sadhibhuta, meaning with Adhibhuta, with Adhideva, with Adhiyajna, okay, and performing all karmas like that. Now, when they do all of that, even, I mean, like they are doing not, even when at the time of their death, then they are going to reach me. This is what they say. So the difference, okay, so here the key is, in the first case, they know, okay, the bhaktas or the devotees or the jnanis, they know that they are Brahman. There's nothing other than God. Second one is that they don't know yet, but they believe it. Okay, that's the difference. Now, when you have a belief like that, then what you're doing is that you are praying to God that, oh God, you are in this pen also, you are in this pencil also, you are in this eraser also, you are in my neighbor also, you are in me also. Okay, so that's important. Okay, so it is not just, okay, God is everywhere around me, but I'm not God. No, not like that. Okay, so God is in me also, like that. When that is there, this form of worship means you don't need to sit in front of a photo or an idol or a murti, right? And do that. Okay? But when you're able to do that mentally, no matter where you are, how you are, then that is considered as this upasana has got a special name. That is not listed in Bhagavad Gita here right now. It is called as Ahangraha Upasana. Ahangraha Upasana, it is called. Now, what is Ahangraha Upasana? Everything around me, including me, is God alone. There's nothing other than God. This thought is there. This thought is based upon faith, bhavana, as opposed to based on experience. This Ahangraha Upasana gives someone. What does the realization give? When someone realizes, it gives Jivan Mukti, okay, liberation while living, and the body will go through its prarabdha karma, and once the body falls down, that is called as Videha Mukti, so there is no more birth for that person. Now, when this happens, I mean, like this meaning when with faith, with bhavana, when someone is doing upasana, where even at the time of death they are thinking of God alone and nothing but God, then they get another type of mukti called as krama mukti. Krama mukti means sequential mukti. Sequential means they they won't have any more birth. They will go to not even Swarga. Swarga means heaven. No, not even Swarga. But they go to the highest abode possible. And because it was based upon bhavana, because it is based on faith, certain karmas, means certain desires, etc., subtle at a very subtle level that are there, those are exhausted while they are in that highest abode. Typically, we call it as Brahmaloka. And eventually, when the creation is about to end, that Brahmaji is going to teach them Vedanta, where because of their purity by then, they understand Vedanta right away and then they attain Mukti. Okay, so this is a Krama Mukti. So that's why it is, because there is two-step process, it is called as Krama Mukti or sequential Mukti. So now when Bhagavan has said uttered these words, Brahma, Adhyatmam, Karma, Sadibhuta, Sadidaiva, Adhiyajna, Arjuna had questioned and he asked what those are. So that we have seen. Then Bhagavan said, Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Okay, when I'm saying Brahma, okay, don't just think that this Brahma Ji as Virat, or the Virat means just not just this one who is ruling this world, at ruling this universe at physical level, at subtle level, or at causal level. It is actually goes beyond that. That is why it is said Aksharam Paramam. Aksharam means one that cannot be perished, imperishable, and Paramam means it is supreme. Okay. And then sometimes imperishable or Aksharam is also said for Ishvara also. But Ishvara has a mm, Ishvara meaning like Brahmaji, etc. Right? So Ishvara also has a expiry date. Okay, because Ishvara is also a creation. And because it is beyond Ishvara, beyond Prakriti, Bhagavan wanted to say Paramam. Paramam means it is supreme, where there's nothing else. So it is Brahman alone. Okay, so I'm talking about the ultimate Brahman. That's what he said. Then Adhyatma is also me. That's what our understanding. That should be Bhagavan said. That should be understanding. So what is Adhyatma? Arjuna asked, and Bhagavan gave one word answer, Swabhava. Swabhava means that Atma is me alone. Have that thought, have that understanding. Okay? And then what is karma? He said, Bhuta bhavodbhava karo visargaha karma sanyitaha. That's what he said. But simple answer is karma yoga is karma. So that means that not everything that you do is karma, but when you perform an action with an understanding that the results giver is Bhagwan, so I should not be expecting any result. Whatever I'm performing is for sake of God alone, and the type of actions that I'm performing are ethical, moral, legal, and my obligatory duties. So when that all of those conditions meet, then that is karma yoga. Then he also said, what is adhibhutam? He said that anything and everything that you see around you, adhibhutha ksharo bhavaha. When Brahman was mentioned, it is aksharam. Aksharam means imperishable. Now, when adhibhuta is said, what is adhibhuta? It is kshara, meaning opposite of that. Anything that perishes that you see all around you, everything that I see around me perishes. Where is I can in this world I cannot find a single thing that doesn't perish. Everything is time bound. So all of that is also Brahman. Okay, that is Adhibhutam. Adhidaivatam. Adhidaivatam means whatever. So anything in the physical plane is Adhibhutam, Bhutas. Anything in the subtle plane is Devatas. Okay. Subtle plane, what is subtle plane here? That means my thoughts I cannot see, but I can still experience. Okay? My feelings, nobody can see my feelings if I keep what you call as poker face. Okay, but they are also experienced. So in those cases, that is that Purusha. Okay, that Purusha means Hiranyagarbha is Adhidevata. That's what is said. Okay, the Purusha Adhidevata, that means that anything in the Sukshma Prapancha. Sukshma Prapancha, like from a Vedantic perspective, Sukshma Prapancha or subtle world is nothing but, as we studied in previous chapter, the entire Prakriti, before it is physically manifested, okay, in a subtle manifestation form, which is beyond our senses, whatever is there, that is called as subtle world. And in the subtle world, what is there? There's one cosmic mind. And what do we get? All of us get just like, one we have one pond or one reservoir of water in our town. And from there, everybody in the town gets water. Okay. And the water again, even within a household, if there are like 4 bathrooms and 2 kitchens, whatever, right? So every bathroom gets its water. Every kitchen gets its water. So every faucet, okay, is depending upon the style of the faucet, etc. Right? Type of the faucet, style of the faucet. Sometimes water pressure is high, sometimes water pressure is low, sometimes water comes as a sprinkling, and sometimes it may come as a single flow. All of that is based upon the faucet size and shape and location. In the same way, from the same universal mind, all of us get a little bit of the same thing. Okay. So all of this is subtle world. So that subtle world where one common mind is there, like one cosmic mind, one cosmic intellect, one set of cosmic senses, right? five senses of actions, five senses of, I mean, five organs of action, the karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, pancha pranas, all of them are from the same cosmic pool. We are all taking a little bit based on our capability. So all of that is Bhagwan alone. That is what? The Adhidaivatam. Adhiyajnoham. Okay. So now, who is performing yajna? Now, here's interesting is that in Bhagwan, when he said in the previous chapter, he simply used yajna. Now, Arjuna asked, who is that yajna in me? That's what I asked. So, like Arjuna added, okay, so when in shloka number 2, okay, Adhiyajna Khatam Kotra Dehe Asmin Madhusudana. So, in my body, who is this Adhiyajna? Who is that is the question. Okay, so why did he add all of a sudden? Because he already, this word yajna has come in chapter 3 and chapter 4 in Karma Yoga. Okay, all actions must be performed as yajna. So, if all actions must be performed as yajna, then what? Who is performer of the action? Individual. So, so that means I am the performer. So where exactly yajna is there in me? That is the question that Arjuna asked. So that means that what happened is that he's a good student and he is listening, and not only he's listening, he is retaining whatever has been mentioned. Even though he is in a state of, just in chapter 1, if you remember, even though he was very scared and very agitated, still he was able to grasp everything Lord said, and he was able to remember, and he's able to ask the right question also. So, and that Adhyagnya, okay, who is the performer of actions? Ahankara is the performer of action. Like if you think about Kartrutva, Bhoktrutva, Bhavana, right? Kartrutva means I am the performer of action. Okay. And I am the uh, experiencer of action. So this ahankara that is there, is that self? No, it is different from the Atma, but that we need to get rid of the ahankara. The one that we are trying to get rid of also is Bhagwan. Means what? In the absence of Bhagwan, that wouldn't have existed either. Okay? That's what Adhi Yajna. Now, these are all we covered. So we'll go to uh, fifth shloka. So now he is addressing the most important question, okay, which is prayana kalepi. Okay, so that's the question. Okay, what is the meaning prayana kalepi? Prayana kala means time. Prayana means at the time of travel. So when he said at the time of travel, yes, I travel every morning to work. I go here, I come back, etc. And if you are working from home sort person, then you're traveling to kitchen, you're traveling to bedroom, you're traveling to office room, whatnot. Okay, they may be all in the same place if you're living in a studio apartment, but basically like, yeah, okay, so all of that is travel. But the travel that Bhagwan is talking about is when this body perishes, the physical body perishes at that time. Okay? At the time of physical body perishing means at the time of physical death. Okay? So that's what Bhagwan is answering. Actually, like most of this next rest of the chapter is based on answering this question in detail. Okay. So now we'll break down the uh, verse number 5, the words, okay? Anta Kale. So two words, Anta and Kala. Okay, together, Anta Kale cha Mameva. Mameva actually has two words in them. Mam and Eva. Swaran Mukta. Sorry, Smaran Mukta. Smaran and Mukta. Muktwa. Yes, Smaran Muktwa. Kalevaram. Kalevaram is single word. Yaha, single word. Prayati, single word. Sa, that's actually saha, but sa. Madbhava, okay. Madbhavam, actually. Mat and bhavam together becomes madbhavam. Yati, nastyatra. Nastyatra, it has got three words in them. Na, asti, atra becomes nastyatra. Samshayaha. Okay, so this is the breakdown of words. So one of you go off mute and repeat after me. Antakale cha mameva
अन्तकाले च मामेव
स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरम्
स्मरन्मुक्त्वा कलेवरम्
यः प्रयाति समद्भावम्
यः प्रयाति सन्मद्भावम्
यास्ति नास्त्यत्र संशयः
याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः
तकाले च मामेव स्वरन्मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यः प्रयाति स मद्भावं याति नास्ति अत्र संशयः. So यः यः प्रयाति. Okay, so the second so see, whenever yaha is there, saha will be there. So that is what in English how we say whosoever, such a person. So that yaha is whosoever and saha means such a person. Okay, so and now whosoever means what? Whoever. Whoever means what? It is not limited to a seeker. I mean, it's not limited to a male or female. It is not limited to a particular religion, caste, or anything like that, or even humans. Okay, whoever, anybody. Okay, mameva, me alone. So when we said me alone, what is the me alone? Adibhutam. Mean we just studied it. Adibhutam, inclusive of Adibhutam, Adhyatmam, okay, Karma, okay, then Adhiyajna, Adhidaiva, all of those. Okay, all of those. What do they cover? They cover this world in the form of 8. Okay, that what is this 8 we are talking about when I say number 8? In chapter 7, Bhagwan said that when he started giving the teaching of the what was he teaching about para prakriti and apara prakriti, he said something, right? What did he say? He said bhumi apaha. Bhumi means solid matter, apaha water, analaha fire, vayuhu air, kham. Kham is the space. All these 5 plus mana, buddhi, evacha, mana and buddhi, mind and intellect. Ahankaram, ahankara is ego. Itiyam me bhinna prakriti rashtada. So this eightfold prakriti. Okay, that is what he referred to in the previous chapter. So now he is referring to that. So that 8, okay, so if you understand that all those eightfold prakriti is Bhagwan alone. Okay. That mameva. So that mom, this mom is referring to all the eightfold plus, because we studied both, not just apara prakriti, we also studied para prakriti also. What is para prakriti? The jiva bhutam. Okay. Para prakriti is the consciousness, right? That Satchitananda Swarupa. That and this. Okay, all these five. Okay, if he is smaran, okay, what is he saying? He's remembering. Remembering what? God alone is all of these. Okay? When he is remembering that, and in that remembrance, what is included? One of the most important thing I said is, I am also part of that God. If Kalevaram Muktva, okay, Kalevaram Muktva means he is at the time of dropping this body. Okay, Kalevaram Muktva. Okay, Yaha Prayati. Okay, Prayati means Prayana means travel. Prayati means one who is traveling. Okay, Yaha Prayati, one who is traveling like this, meaning like when he is thinking about God in last minute at the time of death, that everything is Bhagwan alone, such a person, he will yati. Yati means he will reach. Prayati is one who is departing and he is going to reach, meaning he's going to attain Madbhavam. He is going to attain my nature. My nature means what? He is becoming one with Brahman eventually. Atra, in this case, in this particular situation, Nasti samshayaha. There is no doubt. Okay, there is no question. Okay, samshaya means doubt, and nasti means there is no question. Okay, I am guaranteeing it. So there is a book called Mukundamala. So actually, let me tell you something. So now here, what happened is that there is a thought that, oh, if I can attain, I mean, like, if I can remember God at the time of death, I'm good. That's all. Okay. I don't have to worry about, okay. I can do whatever in my life, but at the time of death, if I just remember Bhagwan, I'm all set. Right? This is a thought that people may have. So what happened is that they need to refer to the last shloka of 7th chapter, where he said, Prayana kale api cha. Okay? Means even at the time of death. Prayana kale api means even at the time of death as well. So that means what? They had to do throughout. This upasana must be done throughout the life. What? Everyone is God alone. Everything is God alone. Okay? And that is important, right? So that api is there. So that means that at the time, not just the time of death, at all throughout. So yeah, now I was telling about Mukundamala, right? Mukundamala is a very nice text, okay. And it is written by one of the famous king, South Indian king, as well as he was also a poet. So Kulashekar Alwal. So he wrote this, and in the very first sloka, he says he tackles this problem. What is the problem? Because he's a smart guy. Okay. It is, Bhagwan, you're saying that at the time of death also, I should remember you. Now, here is my challenge, Bhagwan. At the time of death, do you know what is happening to me at the time of death? At the time of death, this whole, all the indriyas, what's the death? Okay. Death is essentially the separation of subtle body and the causal body with physical body. Okay. So right now we have Stula, Sukshma, Karna, Shariras. Stula is physical body, Sukshma is Satu, and Karna is Karu, right? So these three are integrated together as if, okay? So can I say like, okay, where is my mind? Oh, my mind is there and my body is here. No, well, we say like, okay, everything is together. So they're all attached to this physical body. So when this physical body and the other bodies are separating, what is happening? All the organs of action are separating. Meaning, all the organs of action means it's not the physical hands and legs are being chopped off. No, 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 not like that. It is the ability to move, the ability to perceive anything, do anything that are living away from the body. Okay, they're separating. Then what? All the senses are separating. I cannot experience anything. I cannot feel anything. Is that all? No, no. Even the thought that I can't experience anything is also separating from me. Meaning mind, intellect are also, they're also separating. When all of this is happening, when breathing is becoming difficult, physical body, which physical body is used to two things from the time of God. What is it? It is getting breathe, air, fresh air, every moment from the time of birth till death. Okay? So there's no breathlessness. I mean, they may have like temporary breathlessness as part of asthma, etc., but not this level. Okay? So breathing is stopping. And what else is stopping along with breathing? Heartbeat is also stopping. Now, heartbeat is also going on from the time of birth. So when these two are stopping at the same time, even though physical body is inert, it cannot sustain and it is creating its own reaction. Okay? At that time, sometimes something may come out, like through the mouth. Okay, something may go out through uh, our excretory organs. Okay, all of those things are happening at the same time. So at that time, Bhagwan, so Kuleshwar Alva's question is this. You are Bhagwan, obviously, like you, you don't have any kind of issues like this. For me, as a devotee, when I'm going through all of this, how can I remember you? Okay. I won't even remember the instruction that I should remember you at that time. So do me a favor, Bhagwan. Now I'm healthy, wealthy, all is well with me. Because all is well with me, I'm going to remember you. Okay. I'll try to remember you as much as possible right now. So please consider that I remembered you at the end of my death also, at the time of my death also. That is his prayer. Okay. So this is about Prayanakale, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. So any questions or thoughts on this?
Um, Earlier, you said Krama Mukti is
Mhm.
the highest form,
It-
and then you also mentioned it is sequential.
mhm.
So when sequential is something which goes in layers, right? One on the top of the other. And then when Krama Mukti is the highest, how can it also be sequential?
Kramamukti is not highest. What I might have said, and I might have misquoted something, but Kramamukti is sequential, and you go to the highest abode.
Okay.
Okay,
It
the
is
highest abode here
sequential.
I'm talking about is Brahma Loka, highest plane of existence. When I said abode, it is highest plane of existence.
Okay.
So
So
where,
it leads to the highest.
yeah, and then from there, see what happens is that we have the concept of 14 lokas, right? Okay, 14 planes of existence, 14 lokas meaning. Okay, so we say. And Earth is in between. Earth meaning our not just physical Earth, but entire our universe is in between. Seventh one, right? So the one below are Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Tala, Dala, Satala, Patala, like that they go. Okay. Top, Bhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha, Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, like that they go. Right? So it is said At the time of Brahmaji's, meaning Brahmaji meaning the uh, uh,
Creation.
creator, right? Virata Swarupa. Okay, so okay, so at the time of his mm, sleep, daily sleep, okay, all the words below earth, along with earth and heaven, up to heaven, okay, Bhuvaha and Suha, Bhuvaha, Suha, and everything below. All of them are dissolved. When he wakes up, he needs to create all these 10, right? The top four are not going to. Mahajana, Tapa, those are Satya, those are not disturbed. Okay. Now, when are they going to be dissolved is at the expiration of Brahmaji's time. Okay. At the end of his lifetime. At that time, okay, at that pralaya time, he is going to give education to this Vidya, Vedanta Vidya to those souls, those jivas, and they all get mukti together. Okay, so that is why it is Karama Mukti. Okay. Yeah. Any other thoughts or questions? Okay. So we'll go to the next sloka. Okay. Yam, yam, okay. Vapi. Vapi is actually two words. Va and api. Yam, yam, vapi. Smaran bhavam, two words. Smaran and bhavam. Tyajatyante. Tyajatyante has got two words. Tyajati ante. Kalevaram. Tam. Tamevaiti. Tamevaiti has got three words. Tam, eva, eti becomes tamevaiti. Kaunteya, sada, tadbhava bhavitaha. Mean, tat, bhava, and bhavitaha. Okay. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam त्यजेति त्यजेत्यन्ते कलेवरम tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. So, one of you go off mute and repeat after me. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam
यं यं वापि स्मरन् भावं
yajatyanते kalevaram
त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरं
tam tamevaiti kaunteya
तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय
sada tadbhava bhavitaha.
सदा तद्भावभावितः.
This is a favorite shloka for a lot of people, especially whoever likes food. Why? Because it starts with yum and yum. Okay, yum yum. Okay, so it's a yummy shloka. So, so what is yum yum? Meaning yum. Yum means whatever. Okay, whatever you may be thinking. Okay, yeah, I mean, whatever. Okay, so whatever means whatever. Okay, how do I say in Hindi? Uh, इसे जिस जिसको कुछ चाहिए किस किस को कुछ चाहिए ओके like when we want to say who wants to come right even South Indian language we say ఎవరెవరికైతే ఓకే ఎవరు ఎవరు ట్వైస్ వి యూస్ ఎవరెవరికైతే కావాలో ఓకే వాళ్ళు వచ్చి తీసుకోండి ఓకే जिसको एक कपड़ा चाहिए आके लीजिए so this double usage is saying about whoever okay so that's what this yum okay so whoever va api means yeah, so sorry not whoever sorry whatever okay so not whoever this whatever okay wa api okay you may be smaran okay whatever you're thinking okay त्यजति त्यजति means drop off okay kalevaram okay yam smaran whatever one may be thinking त्यजति kalevaram no त्यजति ante means at the end kalevaram when you're dropping off this body thinking whatever okay, what happens tam veti that okay whatever so yam has come right that equal I mean that its complement is tam okay tam eva okay that and that alone iti okay kaunteya okay there yeah. So kaunteya means it is he is referring to Lord Krishna is referring to Arjuna as kaunteya meaning son of Kunti okay so yam स्मरन् भावं त्यजत्यन्ते कलवरं तं एवेति कौन्तेय सदा तत् भावितः okay so you in that state okay tat bhava meaning that feeling that thought okay that is bhavitah so you are going to become that meaning what you are whatever one's life is right I mean like one's lost thought is okay the next birth is going to be that. Simple, right? So your last thought determines your next birth. Now imagine someone loves a dog. Okay, they're raising a dog. What are they thinking of? The dog. At the end of the life, if their last thought is dog, how are they going to be born in their next life? Dog. Right? Actually, like one of my friends, they always talk about their dog as if it is their child. Not only that, the not only like they talk it is the child. Some of my friends are dog owners, so when they meet each other, um, how is your like you ask how is your wife, how is your kids, like that, right? So there's no exactly like I cannot really translate into it's no equivalent in English, okay? But it says something like I'll say in Telugu, మీ వాడు ఎలా ఉన్నాడు so that means that how is your you expect it to be like how is your son but no they're not referring to their sons they're referring to their dog okay how is your dog okay and then they discuss about their dog for 5 to 10 minutes now okay so this is what Bhagavan is saying is that if I think of a dog I'm going to be born as a dog if I think of a sweet would I be born as sweet maybe I'll be born as an ant to eat that sweet yeah. If you are angry at someone Maybe he'll be born as a mosquito or a scorpion to bite that person later time. Yeah. If I think of the Lord, I will reach the Lord. Whether I think of God with anger, whether I think God of out of love or delusion doesn't matter. If I think with what feeling, because of what feeling I thought of God doesn't matter. Who I thought about, what I thought about is matters. Now you see this, Kamsa. Kamsa is Lord Krishna's maternal uncle, right? He jailed Lord Krishna's parents the moment he knew that their offspring is going to be cause of his death. And he did a lot of evil things. But, and even when Lord Krishna was born, he sent a lot of Rakshasas to kill him, right? And Lord Krishna killed all of them. And finally, Lord Krishna reached Mathura. And when he reached Mathura Nagari and faced Kamsa, the moment Kamsa saw Lord Krishna, he got a heart attack and he died. Okay? Krishna didn't even touch him. Now, such a sinful person, as soon as he's dead, it is said that he merged with Bhagwan. Okay? Why? Because his last thought is about Bhagwan. Not only last thought, in fact, Krishna was 8 to 10 years old when he reached Mathura, right? So all those 8 or 10 years, plus Krishna was the eighth child. So that means that add on another 8 years before the birth of any first child. So all those 16 to 20 years, he's only thinking about God alone who is going to kill him. Okay? So that thought was there and he did. Now, the other side, you see the story of Jada Bharata from Mahabharata. What happened there? You all know the story, right?
Becomes a deer, something, right?
Yeah.
Told us once, a long time back.
So there was a king named Bharata. It comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. And he is a great king and very devotional, knowledgeable. And then he ruled his kingdom for however long he needed to and gave away the kingdom, basically passed on to his successor. Then he, as it was common in those days, he moved on to an ashram outside the city in a forest. He had a small kutia. Kutia meaning small ashram or hut, thatched hut. And he was meditating. And he's a great soul. He was meditating constantly. And then one day, what happened was that there was a chase of a tiger and a deer. Okay, I mean, like a deer was being chased by a tiger. Now, this deer was fully pregnant. Okay, and to avoid the tiger, it went into water. I mean, there's a small river, some river flowing, and there, because of that sudden movement and all of that, as well as thing, it actually delivered the baby right in that water, and its mother died. Now, Sage Bharata saw that, and he immediately ran to rescue that baby deer. The mother died, baby. So now he saw under what pitiable condition that deer kid. What is the small young deer called? I don't know. Doe? I'm not sure. Baby deer.
Doe.
Doe? Okay.
I think so. Doe. I don't
Fawn. Fawn or
Yeah,
fiend?
yeah, probably do is feminine. Uh,
Feminine, yeah.
okay, so
Fawn.
fawn. Okay, so he took pity on that fawn and he was taking care of that fawn because actually like a I don't know if you have any seen the baby the fawns, the baby deers. They actually have like a they look very pretty and they have like this bushy tail. Like I mean like when they grow, their tails become normal. I mean like they are not as much beautiful, but when they are young, the tails are like very beautiful. Okay, it's like a too big for their body size and too puffy. So it's very beautiful. So he starts taking care of that and he feeds it and everything like that. And he took care of it. And then now deer is not a domesticated animal like dogs or no. So what happened is that one day that deer ran away into forest. Now his concern was whether the deer is safe or not, how well it is doing or how well it is not doing. Maybe it is eaten, it is not grown yet, fully grown yet, like that. And he's thinking about that and he died with that thought. So in next life, he's born as, no
Yes.
suspense here, he's born as deer. But see, this sage, he is unlike any other people, right? I mean, if not for that particular incident, he would have got moksha right there, right in that lifetime itself. Okay. So because of that, he had like the memory from previous birth. So he understood that he got this dear body because of his previous karma, last thought. So he just stayed like that and that body fell off. Then again, he was born as human being in a Brahmin family. Now, he, and he still retained his memory from the past. So based on that memory, he understood that I don't want to have any attachments with anyone else. So he wouldn't talk to anyone. He wouldn't do anything. He basically he was good for nothing in a Vyavaharika or transactional world. Okay? If someone gives him food, he eats. If someone doesn't give, he won't ask. Okay. If someone asks him to study, he won't study. If someone asks him to do some work, he doesn't do. So like that, right? So because of that, he is inert as soil or inert as a rock. Okay. So inert in Sanskritam is called as jada. Okay. So he was known as Jada Bharata. Okay. Now, so like his father passed away. Once he grew up, his father passed away, and his brothers kicked him out of the house because he's not contributing anything to the society. Okay. So or I mean like he's not contributing anything to the family itself, right? So they took his share of the property and got rid of him. When they did that, what happened? He was walking in the forest alone. And now the king of that city was passing by in a palanquin. Palanquin is carried by four people. One of the four people, because it was forest, he got hurt. Okay, as in like like he stepped on a stone or like a wrong stone or something. He twisted his ankle or something, and he got hurt, and he cannot carry the king. Now, then they are looking for someone who can carry. Now, Jarabharata, because he was born in a good family and there was no dearth of food, he was well fed. So he was like strong and like hefty. So they said, okay, this guy can easily carry the palanquin. So they asked him to carry the palanquin. Now here is the thing. The thing is that like he won't say no to anything. He will do it, but he will do it half-heartedly because his mind is on Bhagwan, right? So So three people are walking like left, right, and I imagine the fourth one is walking in a different way. What happens? The whole palanquin goes up and down. Now, who's the passenger in palanquin is king himself. So he got annoyed and uh, he he opened and he made the palanquin stop and he yelled at this Bharata. So when he yelled at Bharata, he actually asked, I forgot, like I wasn't planning on talking about this, so I don't recall the exact dialogue, but he says something like, can't you walk properly or something? Okay, and Bharata gives a very Vedant, Bharata never talked to anyone at all. Okay, other day we were talking about Upadesha Sara, where Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi did not talk to anyone for 17 years. And when Ganapati Muni, uh, the scholar who came to him and he asked the question, that's when Ramana Maharshi opened his mouth after 17 years for the first time and he answered the philosophical question that Ganapati Muni had. In the same way, first time in his life, Bharata answered the question, okay, in a very Vedantic manner. Then that king immediately realized that this is a Mahatma and he fell on his feet and Jarabharata gave him the knowledge and he moved on and later on he passed away and he attained liberation. Now the king also attained liberation at the end. Now who is that king? That king was none other than the deer in the previous life, the young deer. Okay. So two parts, right? Two takeaways. One is because the deer spent in the satsanga of a Mahatma, he is upgraded to king from all the way from deer's birth to human birth, and that too as a king. And then he got a chance to meet his guru once again. Okay, and got the liberation. Now, because Bharata made a mistake, he has to go through 2 lives, extra lives. So the whole point is, what is going to be my last thought? Now, we can think, we can plan whatever we want to, but our last thought is going to be based upon our lifestyle. What our lifestyle is and what did we do throughout our life. That is going to be our last thought. You all fly, right? In airplanes. Okay. And next time when you fly, not that I'm hoping that it will happen, please, hopefully not. Okay? It's a regular practice. It's a regular occurrence that in flight, sometimes there's a turbulence. Okay? During the turbulence, sometimes flight would lose the height like that, right? So, I mean, like the pilot would be saying, right? Okay, we are going to pass through the rough weather for next 30 minutes. Okay. So, what is our condition at that time? Okay. Every movement is like, okay, what if it is the last? Okay, I mean, every turbulent movement of the flight, especially with all of the things that we are reading nowadays with the flights, right? Okay. What if this moment is the last moment? At the time, what thoughts are we getting? Okay. So observe that. Then we'll understand the difficulty of thinking about God in our last moment. And yeah. Then whatever our thoughts, right? So this is this Antyasmriti, it is a natural auto response of how I lived my life throughout. You know, now think about this. Do you know what our next thought is? No, no, none of us know what our next thought is. So what is next thought is based upon what are my vasanas. So if I cultivate proper vasanas, good vasanas, then good thought will come. Okay. So further, what do I need to do? I need to think good and I need to do good. Okay, when I do that, then I get good vasanas. So that's why whatever thoughts you have, those thoughts will determine your future birth. That is what Bhagwan has uh, said. Now, we understood the challenges in doing so. Okay? So, how to get away from this problem? Okay, how to get around this problem? Will Bhagwan is going to give the solution to this problem in the next sloka that we'll see in the next session. Okay, so I'll pause here and see if any of you have any questions. So then we'll conclude. No questions? पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Thank you all. Have a great week ahead and we'll meet next Sunday.